Who gave me a podcast? This is Jeff Allen. Welcome to my podcast. Clock is ticking. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Jeff Allen. Who gave Jeff Allen a podcast? We're still looking for you. We don't know where you're at, but there's 6 billion of you out there. We're gonna sift through every one of you, find out who gave me this thing. Because anyway, it's a few days after Thanksgiving when we're taping. So this, when you see this, know that we're overstuffed. And what's that, tryptophan or whatever?
Tryptophan, I think.
Tryptophan,
Some people say tryptophan.
Turkeys. Yeah, I'm still kind of groggy from that.
I'm trying to do the tryptophan, but it's elusive. It is really elusive.
Well, that was our guest, but I'll get to him later. I got things to talk about.
I know you do.
Christmas is coming. We are at this thing. This is the first year Tammy set up Christmas before Thanksgiving. I don't know if I like that. She's finally gotten me professional help to hang lights. When I told her that I have outlived 2 term policies and I'm not getting a 3rd term policy, I literally have no more life insurance. So for what, coincidence or not, she doesn't want me climbing on ladders anymore. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But anyway, we're hired professional. We're going to get Christmas lights up. We'll send some pictures out on our social media so you can see that. Also, if you want to go to my website, I have a store on there, and you can get my book. Is there a book here? Are we there yet? We're developing a television show behind it, so you can read the book, and then when the television show comes out, you can go, it's nothing like the book. And that's our goal. We would make anything like the book. Also, I have some T-shirts. Tikkun Olam, look that up. That's one of my favorite Hebrews from the Jewish faith. Tikkun Olam. You're very familiar with it?
I am. No, I've never heard of it, but I'm being a good guest.
Oh, okay. Just nod, will you, Tim? All right. Okay, thanks. Anyway, T-shirts, Happy Wife, Happy Life. I brought that back after 30 years in the dustbin. But that's it. That's my plugs shamelessly. Oh, and Nordic Wave, our first affiliate, Cold Plunge. Go on to my Facebook or Instagram, the Instagram or whatever. There's a video of me plunging in the cold water. Again, Tammy bought that for me. I think she likes it when my heart stops for 2-3 minutes every day for no reason whatsoever. Other than, get in the cold water. Damn, he's still alive. And anyway, Nordic Wave, and you go, Jeff 150, save $150. But anyway, it's not for everybody. Check with your doctor. That's my disclaimer. Again, it's changed my life. It's where I start my morning off every day plunging into 50-degree water. And then...
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to just be nodding. I'm sorry.
Tammy, we're gonna shoot a video. This is how Tammy cold plunge. She takes water and rubs it around. She goes, that's about it for me. So,
yeah.
But anyway, it's not for everybody. But NordicWave.com, Jeff 150, save $150. Great gift for that son-in-law that you don't like. Anyway, that's it. So anyway, our guest today is Tim Cavanagh, a comedian. We go back. I think I started in 1978. You were there.
I started in 79.
Okay, so you came in a year later.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Just a pup then.
No, I was trying to follow you, and I was literally following you in your car as you drove up to the Comedy Cottage.
Listen, if you're going to come on here and lie right off the bat, you couldn't have been.
No,
what car was I driving?
These are stories. The Rambler.
No,
everybody knows that.
Actually, it was the VW Bug. I used to have to park it on a hill on a down slope because I didn't have the money to replace the starter. So it just
get a head start.
I would run it down a hill, pop the clutch. If you've never popped the clutch to start a car, you're probably too young for this podcast anyway. Yeah. What's a clutch? It's a purse.
It's a purse of some sort. Yeah.
But one of my favorites of all time, Tim Cavanagh. I was at the show last night at Zany's. You and the Mr. Emo.
Emo Phillips.
Farquhar, Phineas Phillips. We were talking off there about how many. I never heard the Phil Kidney name.
He had so many names,
monikers, right?
And you said, well, he stuck with emo, and the way I look at it is, when he got famous, that was his name, and so he stuck with it.
Yeah, but it was so funny. It was last night he brought up there was no emo music,
right?
There was no emo look,
right?
And you're wondering if.
I don't know. I don't know how he came up with it or why it works, but it does, and it just fits him perfectly. And it was so nice of you, first of all, to come out to see us at Zany's.
Yeah, you have no idea how nice that was.
No, it was.
I never leave my house to go see comedy.
I was surprised to see you because I'd heard what a recluse you've become.
Right.
Kind of the Howard Hughes.
Me and Howard Hughes.
Yeah, exactly right. You got the Goose Spruce, the Spruce Goose, whatever it's called.
Spruce Goose.
Yeah, Spruce Goose. Yeah. So,
well, you told a story last night. I'm gonna we'll get into like your personal stuff. Most stuff I don't care about, but we'll get into that. There may be some people interested in your life.
There's no reason
in your life story.
You're a comedian. I'm a comedian. Yeah, they don't want to hear what
I want to hear the Gatorade.
I
want to hear the Gatorade story. How we came to know Gatorade. This was fascinating to me. I had never heard that story.
Yeah, well, this is it's a true story. It was back in the '60s. Students at the University of Florida, actually they were grad students at the University of Florida, home of the Gators.
Right.
Went into a lab and started working on coming up with a drink that would have a lot of electrolytes that would help to replenish their football team because it's so hot down there.
Right.
By halftime, these poor players are dead. They said, well, we've got to come up with a drink that's better than water, that can replenish them. And they came up with Gatorade,
right.
Which is very effective and really, really helped the team. And they marketed it, and it became a huge hit, Gatorade.
And of course, now you're going to get some copycats.
Now the problem is, their rival school, Florida State, tried to do the same thing, and they came up with a drink, but Seminole fluid, nobody wanted to drink it. I don't blame him.
I don't either.
No.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Yes.
What's in a name? And for those of you who are at home looking up and say, I think that was wrong what he just said, but no, it's true.
Okay, 40 plus years.
Yeah.
You've been doing this, 79, so 46 years.
46 years.
I started on Thanksgiving night in 1978.
Oh, my God.
So 47 years. Yeah, but you remember Orlando.
Orlando Raiders.
Very large black MC. Came to me on Thursday night, was Thanksgiving, and I went up for the first time. And bombed horrifically. And it came back Sunday to sign up again. And Orlando said, you're going to have to make some sense tonight. We're still trying to figure out what you said Thursday night.
Oh, my God.
And that was my foray.
And you kept coming back.
I did.
It's funny. And Orlando, who was a real character.
Yes, he was.
I know. I was probably three months into doing stand-up. And he said, Tim, do you smoke? I said, no, I don't. He said, you will. It's like, what? But apparently that went with the lifestyle. I never did smoke, as a matter of fact.
No, it was funny. I did comedy for a couple of months, whatever I called comedy. And I saw Larry Reed. Remember Reed?
Oh, God, yeah, Larry Reed.
Writing into a notebook. And I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm preparing my set. And I go, you write this stuff down? He goes, you don't? I go, no. He goes, that explains a lot.
That's how you learn.
I didn't even know.
That's how you learn.
I just thought a comic went up and talked about his day.
Right.
And if you had a good, funny day, then people laughed.
That's right.
And for 2 months, I didn't have one funny day. I did not have one.
Well, that's the thing. When I started doing comedy and I started, trying to write comedy, you're thinking, I have to get inspired. Something has to,
right.
get the juices flowing. And then I found out that doesn't happen every day. But what you can do every day is sit down with a blank piece of paper and try to think of stuff and make connections and whatever. And a lot of times it doesn't come out nearly close to a joke. Other times it's like, wow, how did that happen?
Yeah.
So it takes a lot more work than you realize.
You were a teacher.
Yes.
At a Catholic high school.
Correct.
Fascinating. Were you working on material in front of your students, unbeknownst to them?
Unbeknownst. I was not a professional comedian when I started teaching. I was just a high school teacher. And it's pretty funny.
What
I taught freshmen and sophomore, all girls, at Catholic high school. And just really nice kids, sweet kids. And just 13, 14-year-old and innocent and wonderful. And, as a teacher, I don't know if I was a good teacher, but I did try to make things interesting. And I tried to relate things to the girls and their situations. We got to the story of Adam and Eve. And I told them, I said, now, girls, Eve made 2 mistakes. I mean, she ate the forbidden fruit. And she settled for the first guy who came along. Don't do that.
You don't settle.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
Plenty of fish in the sea.
Yes, exactly right.
That's right.
Exactly right. I almost got fired from that job. I told my kids one day that they could come to my class hungover. The principal got furious as I explained to her, aren't we supposed to be preparing these kids for college? She couldn't argue with that.
That's true. That's true.
But now, I mean,
were you married when you got decided to become a full-time comic?
Yes, I was.
Your wife,
my wife,
Chris,
who was
on
sitting
board
on the
with
sidelines here, but she.
Well, we weren't going to mention that. But
no, you know what? I like to mention it.
I didn't want to.
And I want to make this. I want you to make this look as difficult as it possibly can be, because if she sees how easy this is, she's just like, I could do that, and then she's sitting here talking to Jeff Allen.
She doesn't need you.
Pardon?
She doesn't need you then.
She doesn't need me.
Yeah,
no,
not at all. But she was on board with it.
She was on board with it.
Well, that day it came, and you said, "I'm quitting my job, a steady paycheck with pensions and benefits, and to go do comedy."
Wait.
Hey, let me ask you this, because the Comedy Cottage had a pay scale. It was 0. There was a $2,
$2,
a $5, a $7.50, and a $10.
Yeah.
I never made it to $10.
No, that can't be right.
Did you make it to 10?
You know what? I almost never worked the Comedy Cottage.
Well, you were a suck up.
No, it was even
you
worse.
You were kissing Jay's backside for years.
Well, that was a hobby. I never got paid for that. It was just something, he seemed to enjoy it.
That's the first time I've thought of Jay in 35 years.
Oh, my God, Jay. Yeah, don't even mention Big Ed.
Bob, rest his soul.
No, when I first went to the Comedy Cottage, because I started at Zanies, actually, at Zanies in Chicago.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay, this will be maybe a boring story, but I wrote funny songs. I wrote serious songs that were horrible. I wrote funny songs that were, okay. And I used to try to audition at all the music clubs in Chicago, Earl of Old Town, Somebody Else's Troubles, and whatever. I'd go in and I'd do the open mics, and some people would laugh, and the owner said, "Yeah, come on back for next open mic night." But nobody ever hired me. So one night they had it, or one Sunday they had an article in a Chicago Tribune magazine. And it was all about comedy clubs. And this is 1979. I had never heard of a comedy club, and on the cover of this article, it was Emo Phillips and Judy Tenuta, Paul Kelly, Larry Reeb. I didn't know who any of these people were, but it was like I had an itch. I wanted to do an open mic that night, so I walked into Zanies, and I didn't have any jokes. I just had songs. I just had funny songs. And I did like 5 funny songs. And Jim Fay, who was the guy who was emceeing it and pretty much running the club at that point and hiring, really liked what I did. okay, this is Sunday night. He said, come back Wednesday. I went back, did some more stuff. He said, okay, if you come in Friday and Saturday, we'll pay you. And this was, okay, I don't want to blow your mind, but this is
God, I didn't get paid for years.
$35 a set.
35.
I know. It was crazy.
In today's dollars, that's 750,000.
That's exactly right.
That was when $35 actually bought you a meal.
Exactly.
At McDonald's.
It was really, and they were right down the street.
I didn't even know that. I know it was 40 years ago.
You wasted a lot of time at the comedy cottage.
I really did.
You should be.
Wasn't there initially, like, if you work zanies, you can't work Big Ed?
Yeah. Well,
there was turf wars.
Yeah, there were turf wars.
That's how drunk I was. I wasn't even aware of it.
But back when you started in '78, when I started in '79, it hadn't developed into that.
Yeah.
And so I did work the comedy cottage. But if you remember, at the comedy cottage, the show opened with like a folk singer guy.
Right.
So that's what I was. That's how they saw me, as a folk singer. Even though I was doing funny songs and getting some laughs,
right.
I was not seen as a comedian. And the only time I ever worked with Arsenio Hall, who was, he was a $10 comic.
He got me my first paying gig, Cobart's Comedy Cove. Remember Cobart's? Worked behind the bar.
Yeah.
And Cookie the Clown would come in on Friday nights. From Bozo. Cookie would say, don't tell anybody I'm here, right? And about 6 scotches in or whatever, he's doing the Cookie voice.
He's moonlighting. He's trying out new stuff.
So, yeah. Everybody did Bozo jokes.
Everybody did Bozo jokes.
Because nobody ever got the bucket number 6.
That's right.
Remember John Tamburino would sit there, and the ringmaster Ned would be behind this 6-year-old going, wet bed, wetter, bed, wetter, bed, wetter, bed, wetter.
I do remember
so the kid would throw the big
I remember
ball.
that joke.
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
You guys, anyway, we're carrying on.
So Arsenio, so I do my little opening 15 minutes, to get ready for the show. And Arsenio, who I had not met, comes up on stage to MC, and he says, hey, you guys ready for some comedy? Let's bring up our first comic. And I was like, What about me? What about me? I'm a comic. I work at Zanies. But no. So I actually had to pay them $5.
Oh,
to get on the show.
I did. It was so funny when I got into my last argument. It was probably the best thing that happened to me because I was making $2.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God.
Oh no, at the time I think I was making $5. That's the highest I ever got. Was $5 a set. And then I got into an argument with the manager, Ed's manager, and he goes, "That's it. You're a $2 comic." And I said, "That's how stupid you are. You think I come here for the money?"
Exactly. We're already insulted.
I'm $22 into beer before I even hit the stage.
Right. Oh.
So I'm at a net loss of 17 before I say a word, And he goes, "That's it. You're a $0 comic." And I go, "What president is on that bill? The $0 bill." So anyway, that was it. He goes, "You're fired. I don't want you."
I don't know. Wow.
Yeah. So that was the end of my comedy cottage days.
This is what I think was eye opening. I'd been doing comedy for a year, and my wife Chris and I decided, well, is this something that is actually realistic that we could do? So he said, let's go out to LA, check out the scene. And, I did my set at the Comedy Store. And
did you?
And they were like, the MC made fun of me. It's like, well, that guy seems a little too enthusiastic, because I was all high energy and I'm really selling this stuff. And it's like, okay, lay back a little bit. But we were talking to, I remember we gave a ride to a kid, to a young comic, and he was so excited he couldn't stop talking. He said, I was just made an unpaid regular at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
He said, wow. LA is the place to be, obviously. An unpaid regular, and he could not have been happier.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, maybe we're going to try comedy, but maybe we're not going to go to LA exactly right away.
I moved there in '84. I think it was right after the strike, I think. So
Okay,
they had that big strike with Jason and those guys.
Yeah.
They started paying, I think, something. And I had a Campanera, Johnny Campanera, had moved out there and got me hooked up for an audition, a Monday night set, and waited 3 months. Finally got my Monday night, and Mitzi left. So anyway, the next day I call and see if I can reschedule on Monday. They go, you got to wait 3 months. And I go, but she didn't see anybody. She goes, well, she didn't take anybody. I go, she didn't see anybody to reject anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I can handle rejection, believe me. I'm used to that.
Yeah. But
at least see me and then reject me. And so anyway, I naively thought that the process should be fair.
Yeah.
And it really upset me. So I knew I wasn't long for LA. And then I met my wife, Tammy, and she had a little boy, and she said, I'm not raising him in Los Angeles. So we moved to Boston. But
that's good.
But anyway, so Chris was on board with this comedy thing at $35 a set. You must have been really excited at the prospect going forward. I mean, my gosh, if you're starting at 35, you may get to 50.
Right. Okay. Two things. What Mitzi would have told you had she seen you, she would have said, well, you're still a $0 comedian, but you're regular. You come in here and work anytime you want to for nothing.
I would have jumped at that.
That
was a whole thing out there. It was improv or whatever. And I did a stint at the Improv one night, a set. It was very funny because by then I was headlining comedy clubs. And, working, making money. So I didn't need to make money in LA. I just needed to figure out how to get on the Tonight Show.
Right.
So anyway, I tell the MC what I was going to be in Las Vegas at the Tropicana the next night.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, right. Goes up and he goes, this guy says, that's my intro. so I was really not long for Los Angeles.
The indignities that you suffer. In show business is so glamorous. But boy, it isn't for.
No, you need a thicker skin than normal.
I did not have a thick skin at all. I was terrible that way. And
by the way, I want to mention that Tim has a Band-Aid on his head. I know we're 27 minutes into this. I can't take my eyes off, and I was wondering if Carolyn, if we could possibly rent that space for an advertiser just on his forehead, just like a hologram, Gatorade.
Hooters right here.
Hooters? Ooh.
Why not?
Yeah. Are they still in business?
I don't know. I hope not.
You don't frequent Hooters?
Okay, no, I have not.
What comic doesn't frequent?
I don't frequent Hooters. I've been in a Hooters twice. And once was a radio remote. Well, when you're talking about money, when we're starting out, to put things in perspective, I was a Catholic high school teacher.
So is that the measurement? Because I quit a job, I was making $280 a week. So my goal, if I could make $280 a week telling jokes, I'm there.
You're ahead. You're ahead of the game.
I'm ahead.
Yeah.
Now, we mentioned Arsenio.
Yeah.
Arsenio, in our conversations back then, he had an entertainment lawyer. And I said, why? You don't even have a career. And he goes, well, entertainment lawyers have clients that have careers.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's the first time I ever heard of networking.
Yeah, right.
He was way ahead on all of that. And then, like, within 4 minutes, he was doing Carnegie Hall with Nancy Wilson. So did you have a plan? Because I didn't have one.
Oh, no. No.
I love what the wife is here.
This can be a little bone of contention between my lovely wife and me, because she believes in having a plan, And
Most wives do.
and
What's our future going to look like?
what's our future? What's our, and
I'm
I
making $10 at the comedy cottage. I'm top tier.
I am more believe in kismet and serendipity and things like that that don't really exist. But
That's how I lost 2 or 3 paychecks in Vegas, just kind of hoping
you're hoping.
that the dice would go my way.
Okay. It seemed like whenever I tried to plan something, it would just blow up in my face. It was just like, why do I even plan? All I want to do.
Gosh, I'm closer to you now than I've ever been. That's how I think.
This is the part. This is the part where you and I again will agree. I believed in doing quality work. That's all. Just be a good performer, write good stuff, and good things will happen for you.
Right.
And good things happen for you, good things happen for me without a plan. Doors opened when, not because I went in and kicked it open,
Right.
but because the time was right and it opened.
Yeah.
I have one example, and it's a stupid example, of I decided I didn't like comedy competitions. I still don't like comedy competitions. It's not fair. I mean, it's like who's better, Picasso or Monet? And it's a matter of taste. So
Right.
I mean, you could put 10 comics up there, and they can all be good, and you're going to say this guy's the best. Okay,
Right.
so I didn't care for it. I didn't like it, but I saw that a lot of people were getting attention. There'd be, hey, I won this comedy competition, and they had a thing probably 25 years ago, 30 years ago, the Johnny Walker comedy competition, and they go around to various clubs. And the prize was you would be able to meet Bud Friedman and do a set on Evening at the Improv.
Oh, wow.
And so I said, well, okay, I'll try it. They weren't doing one in Chicago. They had an audition in Detroit. They had a thing. And because the club owner already knew me in Detroit, he said, well, we'll get you past you don't have to do the initial rounds.
Right.
We're gonna
Grease
give you a
the
buy.
skids.
Give you a buy.
Grease the skids.
Grease the skids. So it comes to the night of the show, and there's 10 comics, 10 acts on the show. A woman named Erin Moriarty, who was working for 60 Minutes, and she had a camera crew there, and they have a.
So this is big time.
I still have this on videotape of the 5 seconds of me on CBS, where it's like, and your name is Tim Cavanagh, and they had me signing in, and that was the extent of it. Well, so you get. There's 10 acts, and I'm picked. I've got like number 6. So okay, you take your chances.
How many minutes are you doing? 3 to 5?
Probably 6.
6 minutes.
So the act in front of me, as it turns out, was O'Brien and Valdez. Who those
Jimmy.
of you who don't know him, very, very funny. Valdez, it's a comedy team. Alex Valdez is blind.
Right.
So you got a comedy act that's a white guy. You've got an Hispanic blind guy, and they're really funny. And how do you follow that?
Right.
I mean, to this day, it's like, okay, well, you follow it by being better than them, which I probably wasn't. But it's like, I could not have been less lucky if I had,
Right.
it's like following a child, don't follow kids and animals,
Yeah.
whatever, it's so like, forget planning. I hate planning. It's just everything I plan, because I'm not smart at planning, ends up being a disaster for me.
Oh, I liked how you circled back to the original point.
Yeah, no, I'm not a planner.
Because my brain, I was thinking about all the comedy competitions that I was in, and there were none.
And that's
Actually, I finished second to Ray Romano in New York.
Oh, you did? Okay.
did.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That may have been the only.
Big difference between first and second. He got a television show, and I wallowed around in obscurity for 40 more years. Big gap between. I will tell you this. I was in Fort Lauderdale. This is my favorite competition story. I was flat broke, and I needed to get out of Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had no gas money. And they tell me about this competition at this particular hotel on a Friday night, and the winner gets like $100.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, well, I'll enter, And the girl I followed, I'll never forget, if I ever do a movie, she's in it. I don't know how, anyway, she sang Olivia Newton-John's Let's Get Physical.
Yeah.
She wore the sweats, she had the headband on, and she wouldn't wait for the curtain to rise. She started singing as the curtain was coming up.
Oh my God, she's here.
I was on the floor dying. If she had gone out as a comedian, I would have got slaughtered.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she was a serious singer, and anyway, they held her to that.
Yeah. Okay. So
I ended up
did you
winning.
win? Did
I
you
ended
win?
up
You won
winning.
$100.
And a bottle of champagne. I gave that to the girl who was crying in the back.
Yeah.
She was devastated. And her mother was consoling. The Jewish mother was consoling her.
Well, because $100 would go to the dry cleaning of the headband and possibly, new shoes.
But I will never forget that as long as I live. What a performance! Just someone should have said, "Baby, you wait for the curtain to rise."
You wait, exactly right. Yeah, it's like what you would see.
And I'm thinking now at my age,
show.
I couldn't bend down that low anyway. I'd have to wait for the curtain at least to get up to here.
Yeah. Well, I do remember it wasn't so much a competition. This is south side of Chicago. It was an Italian restaurant, and they had like a talent competition, and anybody, it could be singing, could be comedy, could be whatever.
Right.
So I go in and I do, a couple funny songs or whatever. It goes fine. And there's a guy who sang on Broadway, on Broadway, and he was off key for the first 40 seconds of the song. And then he finally got into it. It was fine. I said, okay, my luck. Good. All right. He's out. No, he won. It's like, and second place is the guy who actually sang on key and was funny. But that guy.
But at least you don't harbor any bitterness.
Nope. Nope. You know what? I
think that's a credit to your Catholic upbringing, that ability to forgive.
Yeah,
the great you extent.
I actually accused him of stealing some of my stuff, stealing stuff out of my car, and had him go to jail. That's how mad I was about it.
Oh,
I'm making that up.
No, you're not.
What? No,
you hide behind this. I know you're a vindictive.
Everybody
hurtful,
says,
spiteful human
"Oh
being."
God, Tim Cavanagh is so nice." It's like I'm so sick and tired of it, and that's why I'm going to
finally after 47 years
clean
on my show
on who gave Jeff Allen a podcast.
By the way, I have a list of questions. I
You haven't even gotten
gotten
to
one question yet.
All right.
And let me give you one here.
I'm going to say, answering the first one, Santa Monica.
Well, I'll look for one that might answer the answer. No. These are some really good questions. Do you think comedy kept us sane, or did it just give us better stories for therapy? I like that one.
Well, I've been in therapy, so
who asked?
the sanity thing. No, we're not sane. And some people come out with really great stories. A lot of people, a lot of comics don't, they just save money on therapy and go on stage and just work it out there.
That's what I did
with
for
their
years.
Stories. And that's fine. People have complained about my act. It's like, you don't really say very much about yourself. It's like, as I tell people, Tim Cavanagh, he seems like the most normal comic. I said, I'm not normal. I was just raised to believe that, okay, everybody has problems. You don't share them with everybody. You don't go on stage and talk about what a screwed up childhood you had, or, I've got this compulsion or whatever. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm just there to tell jokes and entertain people, and it's none of my business how screwed up you. Yeah, I have OCD. Yeah, I don't want to go out and tell people, oh, yeah, I have OCD. And
Yeah, stop breathing while I'm working.
I'm not a neurotic on stage. I'm a neurotic off stage. That's always business.
Well, it's interesting.
My whole family's kind of nuts, but they taught me very early on.
Bury that.
Don't show
Bury it,
that.
stuff it in.
Just smile and be nice to people, and they'll leave you alone.
It doesn't age you, though, because what are you, 38 now, right?
No, I am. Thank you very much. No, I'm 41.
Yeah, I lost track.
And
it's interesting, though, talking about this, that I was that guy. I worked everything out.
On stage.
All my demons out on stage. Yeah. And the beauty of the difference, because I have gone to therapy and I have worked it out on stage.
Right.
A comedy club audience will not coddle your neuroses. Like a therapist will.
Like a therapist.
See, a therapist will coddle you because they want another $100 next week.
Right.
But if they were honest with you and go, look, you neurotic bag of bones, just suck it up.
Right.
And be a man.
Yeah.
Then it would have saved me all kinds of money.
Yeah.
Now the audience will tell you that. Yeah, we don't want to hear about your problems unless they're funny.
And the audience may say, you really are really neurotic, but you're not that funny.
See, that's bad.
I mean, that's the problem with it.
Bad.
That's the problem with working it out on stage.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. I wrote about a lot of it.
Every time I tell anything
book.
that's real about it, I mean, when you sit down and edit this, you're going to say, there's 4 minutes of funny here, and the rest of it is just him. I don't know what it does.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not Bill Cosby. I can't make what just happened to me
Well,
today.
you're lucky you're not Bill Cosby. He's not doing too well.
You're right about that.
Didn't end well.
No, it didn't.
See, that's the way you want to end well.
Can I do my Bill Cosby song that I did?
Yes, but please. You'll be our first studio guitar player. We're going to get Ben Fuller back. Got to get him back because he has to play guitar and be our second. We had an a cappella group in the Martins. I told you this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they sang a cappella. So we've had people who sang, but we've never had anybody play guitar.
Okay. Well, this is going to be something.
This is a Bill Cosby song.
All right. This could be my break. This
Finally.
could be the kismet that I've been waiting for.
See, this was the plan all along, Chris.
No, don't say plan. Don't say plan. Carolyn, you just called me out of nothing. I mean, I did not seek to be on Jeff's show.
Right, because I have a plan, so we get successful.
Good, and you made a horrible mistake by booking me. Anyway, so this is because it's Thanksgiving time, and now Thanksgiving is over, and so now it's okay to do Christmas songs. And I wrote a little Christmas song. It goes like this. Felicia Rashad. On the Cosby Show, he played Bill's wife, then he got 10 to life. That's all. There's no other verses.
So you're one of those two.
You weren't that funny.
Tammy's argued with me for years that because I used to tell her, you're only as good as your last set.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The set you bomb in is the one you walk off going, see, they figured it out.
Yeah. I'm a fraud.
I'm a fraud.
I couldn't.
Thank you.
This at all.
It's not just me.
No.
No, it's not just me.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
after all these years.
So many times you walk outside and said, fooled them again.
See, and I got a wife who's this close to clinically OCD.
Yeah.
So if she ever watches a show of mine, if there's a blemish where I miss a line or something,
yeah.
it could be an hour and a half show. I can get a standing, and I've gotten standing O's, go back to the hotel. It's quiet in the room, and I go, okay, what's going on? You keep doing that line that I just don't, and I go, but I'm not performing for you.
Right.
There was 1,000 other people out there who actually pay our salary. And I say our because if she divorces me, she's getting it all anyway. Because I have no defense.
Yeah.
That whole neglect thing is, he's on the road 200 days a year.
Yeah.
He neglected. You can't win.
No, you
You
can't.
can't win. She's pointed that out to me.
Yeah.
You can't win.
Well, I've learned with my
And
wife.
she'll go scorched earth anyway. The lawyers will wind up with everything. So.
Yeah, you're right. The more we talk, the more trapped we are. Not by my wife. My wife is good. My wife is very funny, but
I'd like to think after 47 years, she's not going anywhere.
But I learned, and she's told me, she said, okay, I don't like that joke, but you're not writing for me.
She's actually said that?
She has said that.
God
She said,
bless.
I don't care for it, but I know where you're working or what's coming up, and it's like, yeah, maybe that'll work there.
Now, I trust Tammy's instinct when it comes to pushing the envelope for my audience.
Right.
She
Okay.
has a great understanding of where the boundaries are certainly within the Christian community.
Right.
And I've been kind of pushing it to see where that is.
Right.
And I'll run it by her. The only one I ever did talking about her, because it's interesting within that community, I get emails or comments. Is she aware of the way, and I go, no, she thinks I'm a bricklayer, and she's never seen the show. Going right to Chicago, going to build another home. I'll be back, So, but if she says to me, that's too much, I trust her instincts.
Yeah.
To where I'll certainly pay attention. I'll do the line, and I'll pay attention to
How it's responding.
but going back and forth between churches and clubs and theaters, I've tried to find something that works in all three,
Right.
so that I don't have to worry about. Because I've had people ask, are you changing stuff? You've always worked clean.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, and you were always. It was interesting to me, 'cause in hindsight, thinking back, you were always just a kind person. And it was so odd because there were so many of us that weren't.
Well,
Emo was too. I mean,
Yeah.
when you got past the character.
once you got past the character, yeah. I'm lucky. I had a good family, and I was raised to just, we're nice people, and you get a lot further and you're a lot happier in life if you just treat people the way you want to be treated.
Oh, the golden rule.
Yeah, it's that simple. That's what I try to live by, and I really do try to look at things as positively as possible, and accept people for who they are, and
Well, I can attest.
and love them where they are.
I can attest that I've known you for a long time. No, we haven't kept in touch. You've never invited me to your house.
No, and you never will be invited to our house because of your.
Well, I want you to know.
because we know
Me
who
and my
you are.
therapist have worked that out, by the way.
Good.
I'm over you.
I'm good. Thank you. You know what? Everybody says that about me. I'm over you.
All right, let's go back. I've got some more questions, and then we gotta get you. Are you going home today?
Yeah, we're going home. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's no rush.
There's no rush. We're going home.
Do you drive after dark, Chris? Yeah, we don't.
I do have an audition at noon. I'm auditioning for Allstate I'm doing a commercial where the part is to be Mayhem's dad. And so that's why I look like this.
Oh my God, you're stroking me. You're lying to me.
I've been lying to you. I've been lying to you for almost an hour.
Yeah.
God, are you gullible?
I am. All right, here we go. This is a good question. You and I, have lived through the '80s boom.
Yes.
There was a comedy boom,
yeah.
definitely. Political correctness. I'm still thinking that's still around. Cancel culture, TikTok. In your opinion, I'm asking because you're the guest. Which decade was the hardest to be a comedian? I have an answer to that. I'll see if it matches yours.
As we get older, it's always a challenge to try to keep up with what your audience knows and doesn't know. There's so many references, that for 25 years this joke has worked and now all of a sudden it doesn't work because the audience doesn't know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't want to mention there's somebody in this room that didn't know who Bozo was.
That's exactly what you're running up against all the time.
Yeah, I was out on tour with some younger guys.
Yeah.
And I brought up Gladys Kravitz, and I go, holy cow, what decade was that from?
Exactly right. I've done jokes. I have a joke about, I'm trying to think of one that I can do that I could actually tell you the joke. Because there is one that's a little bit dirty.
We don't care.
Okay.
We'll just judge you later.
I do a joke. I do on the Bob and Tom radio show. Okay, I do a lot of stuff on Bob and Tom. I don't know if I can even mention that, but I'm going to.
Oh, yeah.
Bob and Tom radio show. And I do a segment on the show called Tim Cavanagh's Cavalcade of Celebrity Birthdays. Oh my gosh, I think I have some here with me. But, because I'm older and you're older, you'll get the joke. I do a joke. Okay. Fats Domino.
Yes.
Okay. Look at the audience, and half of it's glazed over. They don't know Fats Domino.
Right.
So explain, he was a big star in the 50s.
Well, half the audience thinks you're fat shaming. Mr. Domino.
Oh, boy, I hadn't even thought about that. I got to take that one out of my act. I was worried about the domino thing and people thinking of gambling.
Maybe if you made it in Spanish, El Gordo Domino.
That's another problem.
See, they can check a box at least.
Yeah. Because I do this joke. I said, Beyonce is 44 years old.
Wow.
And I just love the name Beyonce. It's so exotic. I wondered, where did they come up with the name Beyonce? I found out it's a Spanish bingo word meaning B11. You want to see an audience not laugh? You do that one, but I do Fats Domino
because that's the goal, isn't it? To not see him.
Some nights I don't care. Some nights it's like I just.
Have you ever had one of those where you're like 20 minutes in and they finally laugh and you go, "It's too late. I gave up on you people 18 minutes ago."
Exactly. I think I said last night at last night's show one finally laughed. I said, "Yeah, you actually can't laugh at this." Yeah. I said, maybe I should have told you that when you walked in.
Well, it was so funny. There was one last night. She laughed, and it was such an obnoxious laugh.
Oh, God.
I think Emo said to her, "Boy, I'm glad you haven't laughed at anything." that would be really annoying.
It's annoying.
Yeah, it was very funny.
But just trying to connect with people.
So, what decade would that?
This is the last.
Did you have a lean decade? I had the 90s.
Years.
90s was very lean. Coming out of the 80s, I had some.
I kept changing markets, which worked out well. You start out doing stand-up and you learn, and then you find out, there's colleges, and they're paying $800.
Were you
for a
with
show.
Joey Edmonds?
Or I was with Joey Edmonds.
Oh my gosh, Joey!
And
Is
Joey
he still
was-
with us?
No, he's not. Unfortunately, he was a wonderful man, absolutely wonderful man. And
Yeah, he sent me to the Dakotas in January.
I'm going to the Dakotas Wednesday. Minot, North Dakota. I have a corporate gig.
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Why not? If you've ever been there, you know why not. You know.
I ended up driving home from there because they wanted me snowed in for 3 days.
Oh my
I said,
God.
I'm not sitting there for 3 days. So I drove through a blizzard to get to Omaha.
Oh my God.
And I drove home. I rented a car and drove home.
Yeah.
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 It's not a place you want to be in. My joke was, I think we can give North Dakota to Canada. We won't miss it.
We won't miss it.
You know,
And
they love frozen
Minot is
tundra.
10 miles away from Canada.
Yeah.
So, this maple syrup tariff is killing them.
For tariff.
Poor people up there.
I love it when I see people talking about tariffs, and I said to Tammy, what are they on? I have no clue. So for me to look
Nobody
at a product in
understands.
my cabinet and go, that's been affected by something,
Yeah,
I go,
yeah.
I don't know.
Nobody understands exactly how it works.
They just know it's bad.
It is. I'm not getting into it. All right.
Yeah.
So Fats Domino. See, I've got this piece of paper here that
I
tells.
know. We're
this
gonna get to okay.
helps me to keep track.
Fats down.
I don't plan, but look at this. Fats Domino would have been 97 years old. Now, Fats Domino, very popular. You don't know who Fats Domino is. Very, very popular in the 50s. He had a bunch of hits. And all the other musicians at that time were like, why Fats Domino? Why is he famous? And then they figured it out. It's his name. They said, maybe if we take a first name that implies that we're heavy and a last name that's like a piece of a board game, maybe that's the secret. So Fats Domino led to Chubby Checker, who led to Lard Ass Tiddlywink, who didn't have any hits.
Didn't really any hits.
No, he is. No,
Lard Ass. Bless his heart. He's still out there.
He's working at a casino. near
Chugging
you.
along,
Yeah,
and he's
he's
just not
still
gonna-
doing the Lard Ass Tiddlywink.
Where does Slim
review.
Pickens come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. Slim Pickens is a great
That's
actor.
my job, is to come up with good questions.
Yeah.
That's too late, but I've tried. Here's one. You look at young comics now. Do you look at young comics? Do you watch comedy?
Yeah, I do.
Because I don't watch much.
I don't watch much, but yes.
But
once in a
what's something they absolutely don't understand about this job that they should?
I don't ever generalize or stereotype anything. I have a style. You have a style. What we learned in it, I swear by it. You do a setup and you do a punchline, and then if you get that right, you get a laugh. And I see people getting laughs, and I don't see the setup or the punchline. They're getting laughs. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I've seen that where I've seen a lot of guys that make statements.
A lot of guys.
Women shop, and then the place would erupt,
Yeah.
and you go, okay, that's a nice start,
Yes.
right?
And I don't mean to talk ill of anybody, so I won't. But there's a guy who was very good, very charismatic guy, and his whole act was, remember the hula hoop? Remember Captain Crunch? And the and the audience goes nuts, and it's like, there's no joke.
I
There's
worked with
no
a girl.
joke
I don't know
whatsoever.
what her name is. I don't know. All I remember is me and the other act. They put us in a condo together,
Yeah.
right? So
Right.
anyway, she was a local MC, and her whole show was, do you ever wonder? You're walking down the street, you see a shoe. What's up with that?
Now, see, I'm
ever
laughing.
wonder?
I'm laughing at
You
it.
had a red light, it turned green. What's up with that? So the whole week, whoever woke up first
Yeah.
would wake up and go, do you ever wonder?
Yeah.
And the other guy would go, you walking down the street. But that was, I by that point I was really bitter.
Yeah.
So I figured she'd have a sitcom within an hour.
Yeah.
You know,
And sometimes they do want to
somebody
have a
would see it
sitcom.
and go, "It's genius." I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's so funny.
And trained the way we are, and the way that we came up, it's funny in that it's not funny. I mean, it's not even.
Well, there was that
close to
period
understanding.
where
Well,
they called it non-comedy comedy
Yeah,
out in L.A.
yeah.
I mean, I remember hearing about that, and I'm going,
Alternative comedy.
alternative.
I heard alternative
that
comedy.
was for the people who couldn't write a punchline,
Right.
and
right.
they needed to have a name for that.
Yeah.
It used to be just bad comedy,
Yeah.
but that doesn't sell.
Yeah.
So I do alternative comedy.
Alternative comedy.
Right. And I'm too hip. I used to love the guys that did that, you know.
God,
we got it, bud.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's just
No, we got it. Just wasn't that funny.
that funny. Yeah.
Or even funny at all.
What's a joke you thought was just okay and that the audience ended up losing their minds over?
Oh my God. Okay, I'm trying to think of a joke. I think I did it last night at Zany's. It's just kind of a throwaway. My my brother-in-law and his wife, my sister. Okay, let me set this up better. Okay, my sister gave birth to her fifth kid, and the dad took videos of all 5 births. I said, why did you do that? He said, well, when these kids get to that age where they ask the question, where do babies come from? I'll just show them the videos and they'll never ask me another question again. It's like, it's like, real. I don't know. Is that a joke? It's just, that seems like a statement more than anything else, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's the truth. People like truth.
No.
And I make up.
You've been criticizing me since I sat down here for lying to you.
I make truth. I make up my truth as I go along. You know?
Well, that's the other big thing, alternative.
That's why
facts.
Tammy doesn't want to be seen, because she said I create such a picture of her that people would look and go, "That's not her." You know? So it's like she just rather stay hidden. I think she's just ashamed of me, but she enjoys the life.
You know what? And my poor wife is, I don't talk a lot about my wife, but I do mention that we've been married for
Well,
40.
if that Band-Aid on your forehead is any indication, I wouldn't either.
Okay.
That whole "I fell."
Let me just.
Tim, we're friends now. We've been together for over an hour and 11 minutes now.
Okay.
chat.
I'll tell you something that I will not tell.
It's okay to talk. If she punches, let us know.
The
You're in a
Illinois,
safe space.
we live in Illinois. I will not tell the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services, but I do not feel safe at home.
Finally. Do you feel better? I'm trying to turn this.
No, I don't feel better. I don't feel better. I'm looking at my
trying
wife.
to feed this-
She's like,
trying to turn this into trying to turn my COD podcast into an Oprah thing so I can make some money.
That's almost a cod past.
Podcast, COD-past.
Yeah.
COD-past. Fats Domino. What lesson did comedy beat into you the hardest? Wow, humility. I gotta,
Well,
because you were a cocky bastard
perseverance.
40 years ago. No, you wasn't.
You don't remember?
Not so cocky now, are you, Mr. Cavanagh?
You know Taylor Mason. You know,
I know. I love Taylor.
And I love Taylor too.
Yeah.
And when we were coming up in Chicago together,
Another nice guy.
a very nice guy.
Yeah.
I overheard him say to another comic, said, "Can you imagine Tim Cavanagh with confidence?" I didn't have confidence. I still don't have confidence. But yeah, no, I was not cocky. Never been cocky.
No, I
don't know
know
how
you
to do
weren't.
cocky.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do mean. You know, I mean, I say, you fun of, and people just laugh. You know, it doesn't work.
So you've not been in one bar fight your entire life?
No, no.
Wow.
No, never.
Carolyn's been in like a dozen.
Well,
Last week.
That's bad.
you know what? And somehow all the plastic surgery has worked out well for you because you look lovely.
That's why she.
And
That's why she does jujitsu. And
you know what? I mean, I avoid fights. I mean, in part.
So when you get
because
heckled,
I have this tough.
what's your best? What's your heckle thing? Because I got really good at nasty retorts to hecklers,
Yeah.
to where the audience, they loved it, and I couldn't follow it with
Right.
my act.
Yeah.
You know, you're trashing some guy, then you go back and go, "I got kids," you know, and they go, "Well, trash the guy.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear your silly little act anymore."
Right.
So I quit talking to the crowd.
Yeah.
And then I saw Cosby, back to Bill. He gave me what is my final way of handling hecklers.
Right.
He just talked to him. "What's your name?" "Bob." "Bob." Yeah. And it's not like he was getting heckled, but there was somebody who interrupted him or
Yeah.
something. Anyway, he goes, "You know, Bob, this is nice, Bob." And he talked to him for like a minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And he go, "You know, Bob, I want to work alone now. This thing we're
That's a
doing,
good way.
you know, it's polite and it's nice, but it's not getting a lot of laughs." And that's the way I would do it after that, you know. So you're not a mean-spirited guy.
I am not, and when
And I can't imagine you taking your guitar and whacking some guy over the head with it.
it's on video that one time. No, I never did that. You know, I learned the hard way, as you learn everything, because when we started out, other comedians would give you lines. "Oh, this is what you should say when this happens."
Right.
When somebody says this to you, and it's like, it's so out of character. You know, I don't knock the mop out of your hands when
Right.
you're at work or
Jump
whatever.
up and down on the bed when you're
Yeah, and it's just like, it's like, okay, this is not me. It's not coming from me.
Right.
It's a line, and people smell that, and it's just like, okay, that stinks, and it's not you. So out of self-defense, and it's I guess really what Cosby's doing is I just try to talk to them as people, and it depends on what was said and how it was handled. But I try to handle it in the moment, and sometimes it's not right.
Yeah.
But most of the time it works because it's like, okay, I don't want to be mean
No.
because I'm not mean. And that's why I don't get heckled very much, because it's like, why did you heckle him? I mean, you know, he seems like, you know, he's not causing any trouble. He's not one of these comics, you know.
So you kind of missed the whole political correctness.
You know what? I've always felt I was politically correct. And I still feel I'm politically correct. And so I don't
Even though you're
politically correct to me, okay, and this
fat
is,
shaming a guy named Domino.
it's like, it goes back to the golden rule.
Right.
You know, it's just like, treat other people the way you want to be treated.
Well, see, to me, the whole thing is about malice. If there's malice and intent, then
Right.
nobody's going to buy that. And people are pretty in tune to malicious intent.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with, you know, again, we go back to the time in the 70s when we did talk about the different cultures.
Right.
You know, blacks did this, whites did this, and because we grew up in a very diverse
Right.
part of the country. And I just noticed over time, certainly by the mid 80s, that was starting to wane as far as laughs got.
Right.
So I started creating everything first person.
Smart.
Yeah. So when someone would say to me, "Why don't you talk about men the way you talk about women?" I'd go, "I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about woman, you know, the one I married.
Yeah.
And if you take that away from me, I got nothing to talk about."
Right.
So I have every right to talk about
Absolutely.
this. And back in the 80s, when we were having marital problems, there was malicious intent.
Right.
And I wasn't getting laughs with it. I got women walking out on
Right,
me. I
right.
got women club owners that said I can't hire them anymore. So again, the culture will take care of your heart. So I don't even know what I'm asking.
And your heart will take care of your comedy.
We don't need the TikTok police to police
Right.
the comedy world. The comedy world will police itself. The audiences will,
Yeah.
and
People are very touchy about a lot of things. My comedy has never been to hurt or
and it's not political.
make fun of things. It's not political. And I use the example of Robin Williams. And Robin Williams, Don Rickles, could say anything to anybody
Right.
and get away with it and not offend people because you could tell there's no malice there.
Right. Absolutely.
There's nothing but there's no hatred. There's love coming from these people. They want to entertain you,
Right.
and so people are not offended by it. And I think that's always the case. It's not necessarily what you say; it's how you say it.
All right. What's your most offensive song, and sing it here? Get your guitar and let's hear the Cavanagh. I am so ticked off. I'm coming after whatever it is. What's it?
I'm so tired of this Jeff Allen. He's asking questions. He's calling me a liar. Okay, Jeff Allen, a podcast.
Oh, we got a theme song. We got a theme song.
Is that wrong? I think that's probably going to be edited out.
I'll just bleep you.
They'll know when it was there, though. They'll know it. Kavanaugh
I
got bleeped.
I can't do songs like that.
Kavanaugh got bleeped.
But maybe I should.
Yeah. At this point in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you're so kind and you're so nice that if this television show we're doing gets taken off, we're going to have a scene behind the scenes and you're going to lose it. You're just going to, you're going to be berating some barista.
And that's the thing. I mean,
Who puts almond milk in a freaking coffee?
yeah, exactly. And I do, you play against type, and because I am a nice guy and I'm a gentle guy and whatever, and people, say, oh, you're so nice. It's like, you
Yeah.
piece of. I'm tired of all this goody two shoes, and they just laugh. Nobody gets mad at me. It's like, I don't mean
That was my
anything.
childhood. Every
don't
time I
mean
got
it.
angry, the guy
Yeah.
just rubbed my head. Yeah, I used to love that. In those gangster movies where the guy'd come in. Richard Pryor told a story about coming in to get paid. He pulls a gun out, and the guy goes, "Oh, look, he's got a gun!"
Yeah,
they're rubbing his head. The kid's got a gun.
Nobody takes me seriously
that's
when
it.
I get angry. So, what that?
Well, you are the first guest we've had to spew some profanity, so we're moving into.
Well, you know what? I mean,
I just think it should be like.
I made a list of things, and one of the things was it's Jeff Allen's podcast. You can say whatever the you want. Because his audience likes it a little rougher.
Yeah.
You're talking about boundaries, and do you think you know where the
Well,
boundaries are?
boundaries and me
You know
are
what?
like plans
it's
in me.
time-
I don't have plans or boundaries.
It's time for you to realize that, people can handle this.
They can.
From you, they can handle it.
I'm talking about your fan
because
base.
because they love you, and you're about love, and so if you say, whatever.
Yeah. My God.
I'm not going to tell.
This was so much fun. We have to wrap this up. We've learned.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, Carolyn told me, she goes, "You just never shut up."
Well, I don't shut up either. And,
know.
and I wrote Carolyn, I said, how long is this podcast going to go? I'm sorry, I don't know who. And she said, well, it's not going to go more than an hour and 10. Never goes more than an hour and 10. It's like,
We're already,
we're
well,
good, an hour and a half.
if you didn't spill your freaking coffee.
Yeah, well, that was the
The old
problem.
geezer.
And then I
You
lose my
fall
mind
in the
at
parking lot and
end.
hit your head. You know, we got to get lawyers on the phone to find out if we're going to get sued because some old geezer got out of his car and he couldn't walk straight.
That is the Hampton Inn. They
Hampton Inn.
They got
Ooh.
lawsuits.
Well, they know Zanies is putting you up in some fine hotels.
Yeah,
Actually,
I wish.
Actually, I like the Hampton.
I do too.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, I've kind of covered.
Where can they find Tim?
Where can they find you?
They can find me
Dead in the parking lot.
possibly, and you can find my wife at the bank. Cashing in that term policy.
Term policy. Yeah. How many more years you got on it? You don't even include. She does. Believe me, she knows.
keeps track. I don't
She
want.
knows.
I don't want to know.
While
I
she's
don't wanna
got you
know.
on a ladder putting up Christmas lights.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's windy. Get the ladder out.
Don't mention Christmas lights. That's a whole nother. I'm not good at it. It's stuff like that.
No, well, I'm not. And I've told Tammy years ago. It starts with one strand, and that's all I gave her was one strand. I
Yeah.
said, "I'll give you one."
Yeah.
And then we got a garage, and then of course lights have to be on the garage.
Yeah.
And the garage is 20 feet high, and I'm up there on some ladder, and the wind is blowing, and I'm thinking, this is all about money.
Yeah.
This is not about Christmas.
Yeah, no,
good
this-
tidings
no,
and all of
no.
that. So anyway, I've stuck to that two strands.
Yeah.
And then when the policy ran out, she said, let's just hire a professional, which is what I've been saying for years.
Yeah.
You know, I work so I can pay people, stimulate the economy.
Right.
So then she comes out with this idea, we need lights over our bushes, which is fine. The bushes are ground level.
Yeah.
So we're out there, we're putting them up, and again, untangling all this stuff. And she looks at it and goes, oh my gosh, I got the wrong color white light. This is frosty white, and I need plain white or whatever. I want to take these back. And all I can think about is,
Why?
why? We're in the house. We don't even see them.
Exactly. Right. They're for other people.
Right.
It's
So
like,
we hired a guy. Now they're coming out in December to put up permanent lights. They will be permanently on our
Nice.
house. And they tell us, this is what I love, 16 million combinations. Now, you can't tell me if we changed one every minute,
yeah.
we'll go to our
It's the end-
grave.
It's the end of your time.
Just hitting lights.
That's my term policy would be up at that point.
Yes.
Okay, I have to use the bathroom. Okay,
Yeah.
that's how long I've been doing this.
We'll be done. Let's wrap this up.
All right, let's
we'll wrap
do
it up
this.
because I have to use the bathroom too.
All right.
We're old. So
We
where
are
can we
old.
find you? TimCavanagh.com or
TimCav.com. TimCav.com.
Tim Cav?
TimCav.com.
Oh, that's so hip.
Because Cavanagh, everybody misspells it, and it even as Tim
I like
Cavanagh.
Jeff Al. Jeff Al. I think I would change it.
Yeah,
So
that'd be good.
TimCav.com.
TimCav.com.
And in Minot, North Dakota.
I'm going to be in Minot, North Dakota.
That's a corporate.
But that's a corporate.
Yeah.
The next time that I'm going to be performing out live will be in Detroit at One Night Stand.
One night stand. Oh,
One Night
okay.
Stands. Stan is the guy who owns it.
Oh, stands.
Yeah, so it's One Night Stands, but it's a weekend,
Yeah.
and that's going to be in January. I'm
And
doing
you have,
corporate stuff in December, then January.
Do you have CDs or do you have them on digital now?
I do.
Have you been?
I have CDs.
You stepped into the 21st century.
No,
right?
I've not stepped
You
into
on
the 21st
Spotify?
century. No, I am on Spotify.
You're on Spotify.
I'm on
Tim Cav or Tim Cavanagh?
Tim Cavanagh.
Okay.
Okay, you can
This might
find
be
me
confusing to the old people that listen to me because
on-
I'm across from you. I know you. I love you. And I'm confused.
I'm totally confused by all of it.
And Fats Domino's not happy.
Fats Domino got
he
cut
dead?
off of all. Yeah, yes, he did. Yes, yes, he would have been 97 this week.
Oh, that's right.
Thank-
You did say that he would have been.
Thank God, Lard-ass Tiddlywink is still with us. So,
All right. Well,
it's
Tim has to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom. We're going to wrap this up.
That's a great way to wrap- that's a
TimCav.com.
great way to wrap up every show.
TimCav.com. Tim Cavanagh on Spotify. Get him. It's one of the funniest guys out there. And I hope you enjoyed this. I know that we're going to get comments about how scatterbrained I am and how much I interrupted him. But you know what? He's an old friend.
There's
And
no
if you
interruption.
can't interrupt your old friends, then how can you interrupt? I'll be out on the road, as you know, starting in January, the Love and Laughter Tour. That's going to be something that I'm really looking forward to putting together. There will be a 5 or 10 minute little message at the end about loving the wife of your youth, as I think we should all make a conscious effort. Us older people who've been married for plenty of years, it's a good message to remember. You need to remember the wife of your youth, and she needs to be enough. So until next time, who gave this idiot a podcast? Me, Jeff Allen. We'll see you next week. God bless you.